understand Lou Whitaker was here a little bit earlier.
That's what I heard. I missed him.
Yeah, well, he missed you.
Yeah, that's a better way of looking at it.
Well, it should be more than just the field up there. You know, it should be used. You know, you got youth around here. You know, they can fix it up and have some big games there. You know, from teams around different cities. You know, coming into the city, playing. You know, the best against the best. And I'm sure those kids growing up would appreciate it and leave with great memories that they played in Michigan and Trumbull.
I came here as a kid with my dad and my uncle when I was just a boy back in the 50s. But what I remember the best, I think, is sitting out there in right field and watching Al Kaline throw a strike in the middle of right field at home plate. It wasn't an arcing ball, it was a straight line drive throw from right field to home plate to throw somebody out.
First game, coming out and seeing the wide field of green. Also getting to see Mark the Bird Fidrich pitch here.
Here in 1968 when they won it all, but they had already clinched the pennant, and I was here when Denny McLain was going for his 32nd victory. Of course, he wound up the year 31-6. He was going for his 32nd victory, and he was ahead in the game. He got pulled about the 7th inning. Mayo Smith pulled him, and the reliever lost the game. So he never got victory 32, and if you talk to Denny McLain today, and I did about this issue, he's still mad at Mayo Smith for pulling him.
84 World Series here for the final game. No, we were in one deck up and people were throwing sod up. It was wild. We were in the stadium for probably an hour and it was wild outside the stadium.
My best memory here is coming with my buddy that I played American Legion ball with. And his name was Ron Cotner. Blue Moon Odom came out of the Oakland dugout and threw orange balls up to us in the crowd. And of course, Charlie Finley was a penny pincher, and he sent somebody up to get the balls back, and we said no. So that's my biggest memory from here, probably.
You know, it was probably simply put, pure atmosphere. That was probably what I got out of this more than anything.
Just visiting from Arizona, first time standing here in 40 years.
Well, I didn't think the Tigers were honoring their past, and especially the fallen Tigers. So I said, what better way to honor them than putting in numbers on the bench at Tiger Stadium? And it all started last year when Gates Brown passed. Right. Two guys came up to me and put these decals in my hand and said, we put one on the flagpole, could you put one somewhere special? I said, well, what better way than to honor them by putting it on the bench?
Here comes Herndon, he's there, he's got it, the Tigers are the champion!
The game, it started to rain right when Herndon caught the last out, I remember, and we waited around. Chucking a sod up into the crowd, so I said, I want to get a piece. And we both caught a nice big chunk. Got mud and rocks and everything sprayed on us when we caught it. But
1969, my brother, who introduced me to the Tigers in '68 during the World Series, I became a Tiger fan then. And in '69, we came here, me and my mother, my brother, watched the Yankees. Unfortunately, the Tigers lost. So that was my story. I was 10 years old.
My best memories coming here with my father, my uncle. We've been diehard Tiger fans since I was 8 years old that I can remember. We loved this place. When they tore it down, my son and my son that's in the Army, we sat across the road, just cried. 3 grown men crying when they tore this place down. My favorite Tiger, going way back, would have been Rocky Calavita. There was just something, how he carried himself and the way he played.
Saw a great 1960 game right behind the Yankee dugout.
Talk about that game.
Well, Mickey Mantle struck out 4 times, and his 4th time, all you could see above the dugout was his finger, giving it to the fans because they were on him big time.
Yeah.
Just being up in the bleachers, the bleacher creatures as they were known back then. You know, when they won it in '84, I remember running onto the field, getting my little piece of grass. I still have it in my basement. I remember it started raining as soon as the game ended, because when I brought the grass home, it was still wet. I put it in a Ziploc baggie as soon as I got out of here.
Times, first visit since they tore it all down. My fondest memory was coming here when I was 6 years old with my neighbor and her husband, and walking into the stadium for the first time and seeing the grass being so green. It was just in awe, and we sat behind first base. We were like 5 rows up, and right in front of us was Bob Hope. And I got to shake Bob Hope's hand. Sitting down right field line, and at the end of the game, all the former ball players came out and they started throwing balls to positions that they were at. Kirk Gibson was out in right field, and he threw a ball, and me and my cousin went after the ball. He pushed me out of the way, and he caught the ball Kirk Gibson had, and Kirk Gibson had it autographed too.
I didn't actually push him. The funny thing about it was, when he threw it, it was about a section away from us. But everybody was just kind of batting it around. It looked like a volleyball match. Next thing I know, it was right in front of me, and I just reached out and grabbed it, and it was like, I was just like numb for a while. It was just kind of surreal the way it happened.
Kirk Gibson signed baseball the last game of Tiger Stadium.
Yep, and it has the logo on the ball, you know, last game of Tiger Stadium.
Friedrich was my #1 favorite baseball player back in the day, growing up. Me and my cousin came to every game he pitched. I have every article, I saved every article from the Detroit Free Press and the Detroit News that was written about him, and I have them all laminated and they're on my wall in the basement.
In '72, I was a junior in high school. I came down with about 10 of my buddies, and they beat Oakland to clinch the division. And we were out at second base just celebrating, having a good time with everybody. And then we started walking out, and then we saw the box seats, which were the green seats back then. And we all kind of looked at one another and we said, hey, let's get a seat. So, you know, again, we all took a seat, we put it under our arms, and I was just waiting. I was just waiting for a policeman or security to just grab us, say, you know, hey, what are you doing? We just kept walking. Next thing you know, we're on Michigan and Trumbull. We're walking down to our car, and we loaded them all up into the car.
Talk about it today because the statute of limitations is run.
I guess.
Last game the Tigers played here, we were down, me and my cousin came down about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. There was nobody here. I was trying to take pictures through the fence, and the gentleman said, no, you can't take any pictures, but if you give me your camera, I will take as many pictures as you want, come back in an hour. So I gave the gentleman my camera, and my cousin said, you're never going to see that camera again. We came back an hour later, the gentleman said, here, I have 3 rolls of film for you. Gates Brown, Jim Northrup, John Hiller, Dave Bergman, Kurt Gibson, Dave Rosemont.
Kaline was there too.
Al Kaline was there, Willie Horton, you name it. I have 3 rolls of film of all these gentlemen. We just stood.
You never showed me those pictures.
I forgot.
He's batting at even 500 in 3 previous All-Star Game appearances from the Detroit Tigers, #1, Lou Whitaker.
Leading off, a .320 hitter with 206 hits in 1983 from the Detroit Tigers, #1 second baseman Lou Whitaker.
Does it look the same way? No, it doesn't. You walk down the first base line and you go out to second base and everything looks a mile, you know, further back. You know, David Roseman and I, we stood on the pitcher's mound, took a picture for one of the guys up there. Mound looked a mile and a half away. You know, so that's where I earned my living at, right there in Michigan and Trumbull. We had a lot of wonderful moments there, Michigan and Trumbull. Lost some games where we got our butt kicked up there, Michigan and Trumbull. So, you know, it was 19 years of something I loved. Things that happened there. I saw a lot of balls hit over the roof from our team to the opposing team. I saw a lot of double plays turned there between Trammell and myself. You know, it was a complete career for me. I enjoyed every minute.
#1, as Whitaker hits it high in the air to deep right field, and Strawberry looks up. This one is gone. Lou Whitaker being serenaded with a chorus of Lou's, as is the case in Detroit, who has hit 3 home runs in his last 5 regular season games. Makes it 2-0.
Good gets the curveball up in the strike zone. 0-2. You want to get it down. Belt high.